Hey, it's Daddy Steve. Okay, listen, I gotta do another video on these LP creatures. Just general thoughts, because I don't want to mislead anybody, because I've had a few more thoughts about Blackwind. And my man Bilko just gave me some thoughts about along the lines, kind of like set my expectations in a really nice way. Basically saying that he puts it in his tournament decks, and I've had a bit more time to think about it, and I think I do like Dark Reversal at the end of the day. And everything I said before, it's not wrong. I really like this Death Rain. It starts off at 10. The problem is it has to have a creature directly opposite. You know how I was talking before about um, revive? That essentially is the problem, because if you're reviving it, say it dies quick, right? And it's just say that it will, like everything does, and it gets revived at the end of the list, it's not going to do anything at all. It needs to have a creature in front of it. You know what I mean? But I do like the way that it's only a 2 turn cost. Therefore, revive is still relevant. I mean, I say if you put revive on it, or recycle I was talking about before, then yeah, of course, you still benefit from Dark Reversal. That hasn't changed. And you know what? If you're doing something auto, even if it's revive, which is going to be auto, it's not beyond your control, you can't guarantee that something's going to be in front of you, but otherwise, maybe you can. Is that a good enough reason to get Blackwind? You know what I meant. Oh, I'm not sure that it is. One of the other options we talked about was Dragon Lancer, and again, listen, Dragon Lancer is an awesome card. It's just Queen Artiola that's the problem. Just eats up a Dragon Lancer. That 4 waves, that's going to revive 4 cards potentially from the graveyard. Gosh, man, and it's that is the only reason I don't like Dragon Lancer. But for most and many, putting a revive or recycle on here, absolutely, it makes complete sense. For example, maybe Queen Artiola isn't in their deck and maybe it isn't yet in first place, but eventually it will make its way left and be the last person standing. I've talked a lot about R1. I think sacrifice, and if you're going to have Plunder Vitality, you need to have the patience and the means to get this at least Vitality 10, but really closer to 15, and then fair enough, it kind of justifies itself to an extent. It does a job. It does a few jobs. Destroy the graveyard, as you know, and do some minimal damage to the creatures in play. And it's that minimal damage which is the question mark about whether it's good enough. We've said this before. Cyber Eye. Oh my gosh, man. My man Bilko was sticking with this, and he's definitely not wrong. And I've got to admit, and I said it in the comments to Bilko, when I see Cyber Eye, it makes me think, because everything I want to do to the other side is going to potentially come back and bite me. And I guess you've got to put yourself in a position where you kind of do it anyway. You know what I mean? As in, you've got to attack, but at the same time, you can't help but not do necessarily what you would want to do as soon as the Cyber Eye is in play. Bilko mentioned about getting his rebirth up. Definitely. 4 turn cost, not too bad. Rebirth rune on it, of course. Immunity, not a 80% chance of resisting things. And vaporize. Yeah. I think. And I said the previous video was about free to play and what you kind of aim for when starting off. Yeah, I think he might be right, man. He's give me something to think about. Listen, Dragon Lancer first, no doubt. Revive Rune, I think that's also absolutely critical. Torment is important, but not critical. I guess if you listen, then maybe, yeah, I think Cyber Eye. I was just thinking, if I was starting off again and I'm going on my 60,000 gem strategy, then what are you going to do to get your creatures? Yeah, well, you might get lucky on Alice Spawn like I did with Aquarius and things like that. Brilliant. Maybe even a shit up on top. Yeah, brilliant. But in terms of what you can control, definitely Wraith Hunter is one of my favourites. As you know, it's my guy or my gal. And beyond that, yeah, maybe Cyber Eye. Yeah, I think it'll serve you well. Be loads of fun, insta killing and destroying whatever's in the graveyard. I don't think that's bad at all. So the thing that kind of puts me off a little bit is just the coincidence of my arena where nobody rocks with a Cyber Eye. And again, I just think it's because of the lack of damage that it does. But it just so happens in mine they do rock with this. Now, I'm not sure that I would go with R1 with Vitality at 6. I don't know if I would. And I'm not sure. There's a debate in the chat about how high Sacrifice needs to go. I don't think it needs to go to 13. I think that the essence put into 13 here, unless you happen to draw Sacrifice Essence, which I'm not sure is possible, I think that should have gone into this. Says the guy, I can't beat my man here, but anyway, I think that should have gone into Plunder Vitality. But personally, I do think it has a place end game in a deck. Oh my gosh, yeah, and the read, we're both rocking the read. Area 13. Basically, whatever you boost goes up to 60% of max HP. And then area 15, I think Bilko said, it goes up to about 100%. So awesome. This is one of those things not everybody else has. I haven't got it. I'm nowhere near it. I haven't got one copy. Queen Artiola, Death Revive. Whew. And 2 Dark Summoners. That's where his damage comes from. With the Dark Reversal. Wow. Most definitely my best card. The Reed's probably my best card. Then Dark Summoner. Yeah, I love my Aquarius. He's gone to Aquarius as well. Can't remember if I copied him or whatever. Interestingly, sticking with his retreat. Maybe that's due to deck cost. Probably is. And I hope to get my High Cleric at some point. Discord. That's obviously a 4th skill. And Bilko was talking about retreat. And yeah, fair enough. Again, interesting that this is his main damage bringer. Sacrifice 12, fair enough. What I'm thinking is, and what I said in that last video, instead of this Spirit Caller, personally, from day one, rather than that Spirit Caller, I think I'd rather roll the dice and have an Azure Vixen. I'll get that immunity up. Dodge, don't even worry about it. But it's just this Crystallize. Because, and I don't really fully understand it, but I think I do. When it says, and I know it looks average, it's a defensive card, but so is a, was it Spirit Caller? So is a Spirit Caller. All creatures, as soon as the HP gets below 35, essentially, for their round, when it's your turn, if their creature's below 35%, they're frozen. And when it gets back to you, you'll freeze them again, basically. So if you get that Crystallize higher, towards like 50%, and you got your Dark Summoner damaging them, and it's a 19 cost card, I think I'd rather have this on some level. And I'd be tempted, and I'm not convinced, I'm just kind of thinking aloud. It'd be a big move, but maybe Azure instead of an Aquarius, instead of having 2 Aquarius, maybe. And for Azure, I was thinking about what meld. I'm not saying definitely, and it's a big thing to do. At least Aquarius guarantees some kind of board control. For her, the only meld I can think about for her is something that'll help keep her alive. So for me, that's got to be Sacrifice. And that's obviously no guarantee, but it's just a better chance. Yeah. I think she definitely does need the support of an Aquarius. I'm just thinking two Aquarius and a, oh man, I'm going too far now. Two Aquarius and Azure, which obviously I can do. Azure maybe replacing the Spirit Painter, just trying to aim for different versions of deck control, board control. Spirit Painter is vulnerable to, is it lucidity, but that depends on your rage being above 80, which 80% of the time or 79% of the time. It's 80 or 80 above, I'm not sure. Let's say 80. But you know what I mean? 80% of the time, it's not, your rage is not going to be above 80. So there you go, you know what I mean? So that's lucidity. It's one of those staples that most people have, and a lot of end-game players do have lucidity. Not for me. On that, since I've talked about it. And it's a matter of opinion. I most definitely prefer Mass Charm, and I'm still old school with Cull. But I think Cull is multi-skilled, if I remember correctly. I'm not too sure. I think it is. Anyway, Azure Vixen. Azure Vixen. I think I'm going to get it, I think I'm going to get it to experiment to just see what it can do. And so I've got a lot of defensive cards. But as I mentioned before, that Black Widow is not going to be there forever. Got Dark Summoner, Dragon Lancer, Shirapatera in terms of offensive cards. I like the flexibility of a Spirit Painter though. It's that Black Widow slot. Yeah. And obviously, as I mentioned before, it would be crazy useful. Definitely to have more Dragon Lancer and put Recycle on it. And then my deck cost only needs to go up by, what, to get that to level 15 from 10? It's going to be, let's have a look. Instead of trying to guess, evolve. Goes up to 23, it goes up 4 points. And obviously I'm not going to do it now, I'd need some copies. But yeah. Yeah, so listen, if anybody's got Azure Vixen, particularly, I know she's going to be squishy. I know she's defensive. And she's reliant upon you having power cards to remove their health below a given number. And at the moment, the starting point, that starting number that you need to reduce their health is 35%. That's a crystallized 1. Let me know if you got Azure Vixen. Again, I know she's going to be squishy. Did you level that up, the crystallize? Do you have a decent power deck, basically, something a bit more so than myself, in which she can actually freeze them more or less indefinitely until they're gone? And is that the way it pans out? Or is it just always below that threshold, which is definitely possible, below a threshold of being useful enough? You know what I mean? Again, I'm just thinking ahead about whether she would realistically fit in anywhere. So I got 2 Aquarius. Would I rather have another kind of deck control card in this deck? Or would I rather just have anything which is much more powerful? Let's have a look. Sorry. I think we saw this one. I might have to look at Bilko's deck because he's got a few cards which I think could definitely fit. Okay, well, low key, very rare, very rare. Rare. Not that, I haven't got that kind of patience. Yeah, like myself, just a regular deck, more or less. Oh, Octavioso. Shadow Soul, of course. 2 Queen Artiola and Raw. Interesting. I mean, listen. There's lots of potential. There's lots of potential cards you could stick in here, as I say, as an offensive cards, not offensive. Yeah, you know what I mean. A card to do offense. What's going on here? Just trying to remember the card I was talking about before. I think that's it. 2 secs. I was trying to remember what the card is called. That might have happened because I got two phones. Maybe I wasn't properly logged in on this one. Don't know. Anyway, Mr. Bill, I'm going to look at the. Oh, I wonder what Lexus has got on his deck as well. I'm not going to win. these are end game guys. Oh, Divine Tether. Okay. Yeah, I'm just talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Some of these out and out damage bringer. Wow, Cyber Eye. Level 10. Mr. Prime. What's this? 5 first. Somebody was asking me about this. 5 firstborn with death insta-kill. And it was one of those really fascinating melds. Death revive. There's no revive rune. I'm thinking about whether I'd get 5 first. How many revive runes are you gonna? Gosh, man! Say if you got Queen Artiola revive rune. Say if you got Nereid revive rune, and you got a 5 firstborn. I mean, oh my gosh, man! Bounds of reason that how many revive runes we can have. But anyway, this end game guy, rebirth 10, rebirth rune, 4 cost. In order to kind of come back into the deck, if recycled. And death insta-kill. That death insta-kill. You and my man Bilko, man, you love that insta-kill, man. So, and I definitely see where you're coming from. And that will... listen, if you got this... Death insta-kill and death revive. That is beautiful. And rebirth. Gosh, man. 5 firstborn. I think I got this on my other deck. I just can't remember how I got it. Wow. Let's have another look. Oh my gosh. I think I saw, another convert, no doubt. Onari with revive melds. Got to be something to it. It's going with Spirit Arbiter. I wonder if he's doing something else. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. Another Spirit Painter fan. Perfect copy at 1, exactly where it needs to be. Retreat, interesting on Spirit Painter. What would I put on a Spirit Painter? See, part of me is still the guy from 10 years ago that still doesn't really like Retreat. There's a place for it, but... There is a place for it. There is. But what would I put on a Painter? I painted the card that can do anything. Oh, beautiful. High Cleric. None of these are the ones I was thinking about. There's one that I know Bilko's got. Divine Terror would be awesome, though. Most def. And Loki. Somebody was talking about Ra not too long ago, but there's like 2 people who got Loki. There's got to be something to it. Well, yeah. I think Prime was talking about it's worth getting this. Yeah, he was. And I think he was saying about you can get a couple of the ones from the guild maps. Anyway, just to round this up, I lost obviously. I want to look at Bilko. It's 2 seconds. I don't know why. There's this one card that I think he said he got from during Christmas time, and I just wish I'd have logged in. That's in that kind of 8-9 year hiatus that I took between them playing this game and letting it go. But again, these end game players, they love this Nari with the revive. Still thinking about Five Firstborn. Is it this one? No, it's not Time Hopper. I think he got that quite recently, which is fair enough because he's got what's the skill? Yeah, Unholy Rites. So somebody like Time Hopper just puts it in a loop. But I know he's got one particular card, and that's the card. That's the only reason I'm kind of playing this through. But yeah, Divine Terror as well. And as a free-to-play, I don't think you should be aiming for those. I think you should, focus on your Alice Bond, focus on 60,000 gems minimum, on a spending day during Momoya, get your Lord level equipment material bits. It's the only way you're going to do it. Then once you've done that bit, then invest in everything else is what my recommendation would be. And if you saw my latest video, I've got another 20 shards towards a High Cleric, and this is another damage bringer with Divine Smite and with the Torment. Ooh, an immunity at 10-2. Damn. That's not the card I'm talking about, though. That's the card that's going to give me a very tough decision in the next Momoya. But to be honest, gems-wise, I might need to go 2 Alice Bonds before I can jump back in again. This is the card I was talking about, Raw Diviner. Immunity 10. Don't worry about the Holy Shield. It's this Star Shard. It's just awesomely powerful. I just wish I had this one. Awesome. And an honourable loss. Anyway, just some more thoughts. I don't want to send anybody down the wrong path going after or investing in Blackwind. I did mention it, and I did kind of put it forward as a strong-ish suggestion for Recycle. I don't think so anymore. I really don't think so. Yeah, there was a comment in the there's a comment suggesting Dragon Lancer for Recycle 2, and you know what? I think for most people at most stages of the game, I don't think it's a bad meld. Even if it was putting Queen Artiola in a cycle where she can death revive people, well, you have got Crystal Ward and Unbound where while she's doing that, you're still recycling or you're still reviving too. That makes it about 50-50, right? That makes it fair game, not quite 50-50, but yes, long story short, not Blackwind. I think, yeah, probably Recycle on Dragon Lancer, and you've got your revive elsewhere, which is going to be Queen Artiola, Nereid, preferably, and Nari. Revive is covered. The cycle, Dragon Lancer, in addition to the damage that it brings, and it does not detract from that damage. And if you're absolutely crazy, yeah, put immunity on it if you want to. There's some crazy peeps out there like myself and Bilko and Lexus Prime going out there vaporizing people with insta-kill. That Five Firstborn. Let's have another look. So I just want to round that off because the stars are kind of aligning. I just literally can't remember how to get it. I know it's out of the way. Guild map. Right. Oh. Interesting. Right there. Oh my gosh, man, I want it. I want it pretty bad, but I want it bad. My gosh, man, all this time. I'm just thinking when I was a guild leader, didn't really rate this one at all. Just it wasn't really on the radar. How did that happen? I mean, I don't like magic, but all things considered, Not bad at all. Insta-kill meld for this one. Insta-kill for the win. Yeah, you're going to have to up that rebirth, obviously, from 45%. Interesting. Death. Yeah, I know why he hasn't got the rune on that death revive. Yeah. No, no. I was just trying to think. You know, you got like S revive only when it's played. I'm getting confused. Stick with it. Voice Firstborn, Insta Kill Meld, very good. I'm gonna have a little lie down. That is Stephen. I'm out.